Leveraging social media for PR success has never been easier, and in this video I'm going to show you some tips and tricks on how to leverage your personal brand to get covered in the media. The first thing to note is obviously having a bigger social media brand is going to help you get bigger placements, and you can leverage that across different outlets like podcast. But you don't necessarily need a massive audience to still leverage that. Piece of it is still spending the time of investing in your personal brand so you look professional. So when you are pitching the media, people are going to do research, and you don't need 100,000 followers, but what you need is good posts, clean photos, the bio set up properly, your cover image is set up, profile is complete. So that way, as they're doing research on you, it's the same thing as having a nice website. They're going to say, okay, this guy is professional. He knows what he's doing. He's well spoken. He has content out there, and he does look like an expert, even if you're only at 500 or 1,000 followers, whatever it is. That piece is so critical, and it's how you present yourself in the public. It's like that business card, as I tell a lot of people. So the first kind of step that I do before I recommend anyone working with a publicist is a communication audit. And all a communication audit is, when we talk about an external communication audit, is really how are you communicating with the public about your brand? What story are you telling? A lot of times I like to start with just the website. Is your website linked? Do you have a clean landing page? If people Google you, is it taking you to the website? Is your logo professional? Do you have a little favicon in the top corner? Is the landing page clear and concise? Can I land on there and above the fold know what the company is about, and then go through and see a CTA, a call to action? Is there social proof on there somewhere? Is there something to buy or purchase? All of these are really critical to that baseline of your brand. And you might say, well, that's not really social media, but in my opinion, it is. You get to own it, but that website is that base and that professionalism, and shows that you're ready. The next step of it is your social media, is your LinkedIn, your Twitter, your Instagram, TikTok if you use it. All of these platforms really do matter, and like I said, you don't need thousands of followers. Our YouTube channel has about 2,000 followers and growing, but the thing about that is the content we produce is professional. We have interviews with celebrities. We've highly edited material. People on there are well spoken. We have a couple videos that have done well, and it's built a brand, and it aligns with our brand. The color scheme aligns with our brand. The story we're telling, it's all about PR. It's not all over the place. It's creating that brand image. And then you go look at, for example, let's just use my personal brand. You go look at my social media. You'll see it's about business development, and it's about scaling. It's about media relations. It's about lead generation. So a little bit less targeted, but that's what matters to me. And that helps build my brand, but it also reinforces the brand that I'm saying I'm an expert in. Once you have all this, you have your professional LinkedIn, you're producing content, you're creating blogs, you're doing guest articles on things like Medium. That's how you're then going to leverage that to the next level, whether that be become a contributor on a site like Entrepreneur. That's actually really easy to do with your baseline of a strong brand, because what they're going to do is you're going to apply and say, hey, I meet the minimum business requirements. I'm making over, I think it's $2 million a year. I've raised capital. They're also going to go look at the voice and the brand you've created, because they want experts who can drive traffic and be professional. So they're going to look at any content you have on your website. Even if you don't have a big audience, they're going to look at make sure your content is good and powerful, and it's going to represent their outlets correctly. So you leverage that to get on outlets and become contributors on things like Entrepreneur, but you can also leverage that to become a contributor or be on podcasts. And in every scenario, what you're doing is you're borrowing the expertise of these outlets. So every time you level up, you're going to have a higher thought leadership, higher expectation of success based on the presence, the brand you've created through your social media. So you can leverage that to become, like I said, that guest article contributor. You can get on podcasts, especially when your audience starts to grow, or you can show you're a good speaker and you're going to add true value to that podcast. They're going to want to host you because your currency is figuring out how to create good content so that they can get more eyeballs and they can get ad dollars, sponsorships, larger audience, reviews. There's a whole bunch of different ways that you can figure out how to add value. That first step is building a strong social presence. And again, it's not about your total reach. It's about the professionalism across the board, and you slowly start figuring out that reach as you're producing that content. Social media across the board, and I just named a whole bunch of things. This is a continuous long-term game, and you have to stay at it and really continuously produce good content. So you get to a certain point, you're gonna start getting covered more and more and more. The only caveat to that is people that have had massive success. So if you're, a business owner of a company that, doing $100 million a year, it's gonna be a lot easier versus if you're a business owner of a company that's doing $1 million a year. There's a lot more business owners like that where those pieces are going to help get you more coverage in the media. Now, by doing this, it's kind of that engine of growth. As you get better and better, you're gonna get a bigger reach and a bigger reach, and you're gonna get on bigger outlets and have more success. So that's really how you scale your social media to have media and PR success. If you guys like content like this, please make sure to subscribe. And if you check down in the description below, there'll be a link to get a free article on USA Wire. Thank you.